Okay, good afternoon. I am Professor Lambeau on YouTube. This presentation is going to be on why the United States healthcare system is so terrible. So generally in the world, there are two types of healthcare systems. There's private and then there's public. Private is what the United States and a few other countries use. In the private healthcare system, each citizen pays for their own healthcare out of their pocket, or they pay health insurance to pay for their healthcare, or their health insurance is paid for by their workplace. So in some instances, if you have a low-paying job, they might not do a whole lot of healthcare, or they might not do any healthcare at all. In that instance, you'd be forced to pay for your own healthcare by yourself. And healthcare in the United States is very expensive. So in those cases, many people just don't go to the doctor at all. They just don't. Much of the profits from this private system, at least in the United States, they go to healthcare megacorporations or insurance companies. Insurance companies essentially just act like a middleman. We give the insurance companies money, and the insurance companies are supposed to give money to the doctors and hospitals that care for us. What usually happens is the insurance company will come back to us and say, no, your broken arm wasn't covered under your policy, so keep paying us, but we're not going to pay for your broken arm. You need to pay for that yourself. And it's also important to note, just like I said, without insurance or money, citizens simply just don't get health care. They just don't go to the doctor. Now, public, also known as socialized health care, is often referred to as free health care. That's not the case. I don't think anyone really thinks that's the case. But in any case, it's often called free. What it is, it's essentially just like saying the fire department is free. Like you pay for the fire department, but you just pay taxes, so it doesn't feel like you're actually paying for it if you were to need to use it. So all the green countries are countries with public or socialized health care. Private insurance in many cases can be used if you want to pay for it, but every taxpayer is going to pay a certain amount to the healthcare system through their taxes for the benefit of the entire country. So just like paying for roads or the fire department, you pay a little bit through your taxes, and then when it comes your time to actually need to use service, you can use it for free. One critique people have about this is healthcare is controlled by the government. It is what it is. People also aren't going into debt for getting cancer, and they're not going to the doctor because they literally can't afford it. So you kind of got to choose your battle there. People also complain that the wait times at public healthcare doctors is too long, and you'll be in the ER for hours, which I will say can also happen in the United States. It's happened to me before. But if you are dying and it's a legitimate emergency, you will get back there and you will see someone. They're not just going to let you die in the emergency room. Whereas in the United States, you can be having a heart attack in the parking lot and doctors cannot come to help you. They have to wait until you're inside the building to help you. So like there are problems with both. However, with the socialized healthcare, those problems are a lot less prominent. Also important to note that if, for instance, you're a United States citizen and you're traveling through Canada, you have to go to the hospital. They will charge you for going to the hospital, but it'll be fairly cheap. So that is a pretty good plus. So how much is healthcare in the United States and other countries? It differs quite a bit. In the United States, about $13,000 is spent per person on healthcare every single year. If you compare that to Canada and the EU, it's about $8,500 and $4,500 respectively. So a lot more in the United States. And a night in the hospital in the UK costs about $500. Canada is about $7,800. And the United States is about double at $13,600 for a one-night stay in the hospital. In Sweden, a broken arm might cost $45. That's just for a typical hospital visit. Like whatever you go to the hospital for, probably going to get charged between $35 and $55. In the United States, if you don't do an overnight stay in the hospital and you just get that cast put on, that's $2,500 for a broken arm. So where does all the money go? Some sources we'll say that the money goes to new, innovative healthcare technology and systems and things like that. Um, but if we're going through that thinking, then like, why is it still so much cheaper in other countries? Like, are we saying those countries aren't developing new, innovative healthcare technology? Do they already have it? Are they not innovating at all? So what's going on there? No, that's not the case. Those countries are also coming up with new ideas. The United States isn't like doing something special. We're not 100 years into the future when it comes to healthcare technology. They're just price gouging. And surely, if the United States is spending so much more on healthcare, we have a lot better healthcare, and we're ranked like number one, number two. No, that's not the case. We are ranked number 18. You can see the top 12 right here. Obviously, we didn't even break number 10. So where's all the money really go? Well, these are the big six healthcare companies in the United States. As you can see here, at the lowest, Centene was making 1.2 billion for 1 year, and the United Health Group was making $20.6 billion, which is an extreme, obscene amount of money, particularly when you're profiting off people being sick and dying. Many companies like these ones that I've listed and other pharmaceutical companies will price gouge, such as when Moderna, during peak pandemic, wanted people to pay $130 for the COVID vaccine. Big Pharma, again, price gouges nearly all their products. I saw one source that said a small plastic bag that costs like a fraction of a cent to make was being charged like $8 in a hospital for just no reason at all. In addition to that, an ibuprofen, single ibuprofen pill will cost about $60, whereas a bottle of 30 might cost like 10, 15, just at a pharmacy. So where does all this money really go? Again, the big six. This money is most likely going to the shareholders and the CEOs. The CEOs, Andrew Whitty, David Cordani, Gail Bordeaux, Karen Lynch, and Bruce Broussard. I don't have Centene's CEO because I didn't have a picture of them. But in any case, all of these people and their shareholders, they willingly do this. They say, yeah, this is good. We're going to charge $60 for an ibuprofen. We're going to charge thousands more dollars for people to stay in our hospitals. But hey, it makes them money, so it's a big win for them. All right. Just these five people that I have listed here, they get paid salaries and bonuses right around $100 million every single year, compared to the average U.S. salary of $60,000. And that's just those five people. If I included that six CEO, probably be about 120, and then the shareholders, you're probably looking at billions of dollars for the shareholders. So moving forward, why doesn't the government do something about this? I think we all know the reason for that. It's because freaking David Whitty and Mrs. Bordeaux are lobbying in Congress, and Congress says I like money as well, so they just keep allowing this stuff to happen. This is for United Health Group. All these graphs I'm going to show you from OpenSecrets.org. I'd strongly recommend you guys check it out. It's pretty neat. You can just search a company and you can determine like how much they've spent lobbying in the past few years. The United Health Group, 4.7 million. Cigna Corp, 5.2 million. And Blue Cross, right around 10 million for 2023. And that's just 2023 numbers for the Blue Cross, and I'm filming this in early June of 23. The fiscal year started in October, so July, August, September, October. They still have a whole nother quarter where they're going to continue to lobby for these policies. In conclusion, these mega corporations that I listed earlier, they prey on the sick and dying for profit. Obviously, I'm sure you're all familiar with Breaking Bad, where the guy with cancer starts selling drugs because he literally can't afford health care. It's kind of an extreme example, but some people will literally just choose to die instead of going to the hospital or getting cancer treatment. Some people will call Ubers instead of ambulances because they cannot handle the bills. Also, like I said earlier, dozens of countries have implemented free healthcare and have had great success. Like they have not had problems. Wait times might be an hour longer, but people aren't going in debt for literally the rest of their lives. Socialized healthcare would save citizens money. A study at Yale said Medicare for all would save 68,000 lives a year and reduce healthcare spending by 450 billion every single year. However, if we did that, that 450 billion wouldn't be going into the shareholders' pockets, which we all know is a big no-no. In addition to that, just a little sidebar: the United States, if you think about it, already pays for this. We pay so much more in military spending than any other country. And if we just took a fraction of our military spending and put it towards healthcare, towards our citizens, we would be fine. And the military wouldn't even freaking notice. So that's just a little sidebar. But what can we do about it? We can vote people in as always that support these changes. Maybe vote people in that won't take bribes. Lobbying from these mega corporations. You can spread awareness, let people know. If that's just like healthcare is not that expensive in other countries, and your taxes aren't going to shoot up to like freaking 80% of your income or whatever people think it is in other countries. That's just not going to happen. You can protest, spread awareness that way. Strongly recommend. You can become a community leader or a politician and actually enact these changes for yourself. That's probably the best one, is to become the system. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I am Professor Lambeau on YouTube. Thank you for listening.